Well, a Holland police officer is charged with the murder of his wife. We've been following this story, bringing you new developments since breaking the story on Friday night. Tonight, we have obtained documents that give a new look at exactly what happened there. 24-hour News 8's Emily Zangaro live in Holland with what we have learned. Emily?
Larry, we arrived here at 8 a.m. when the courthouse opened, and we went to work. We got our hands on two key documents and had a sit-down with Ken DeKleine's boss.
A people of the state of Michigan versus Kenneth Lee DeKleine.
In courtroom A, this video arraignment showed a face many know as a community police officer and friend.
He's a good man. He just did something really bad. But, you know, that's not the person we knew.
Not the man they knew. Two church friends were the only ones there to watch Ken DeKleine be charged with the murder of his wife, Lori. Answers slowly unfolded through court documents. The first is testimony used by police to obtain an arrest warrant. It says investigators found Lori DeKleine in the basement of her home with a nylon strap around her neck. She was strangled. Through a string of talks, interview number 3 to be exact, Ken DeKleine confessed to the crime. He gained access to the house and waited for the kids to leave. In the kitchen, he used a strap and choked Lori to death, then moved her into the basement to make it look like a suicide. Then this. Lori filed a personal protection order against Ken nearly 1 year ago. Ken's police chief says the two were going through a separation and had a strained relationship. And while Lori had filed 2 complaints of violations, he says they never held up in court. No red flags, he says.
My job is to make sure that he can perform his job. And Ken did his job. All right? Now, what he suppressed inside of him, yeah, I mean, you can suppress something inside of you and I can be your best friend, and if you don't want me to know it, I'm not going to know it.
Others who knew Ken well say they never saw warning signs either.
We can't understand how this could have happened.
From Sunday service to Wednesday dinners, Thomas Elwood said he bonded with Ken because they both served in the military. In 2005, Ken spent a year in Iraq training soldiers.
I can't say whether the time over there was contributed to this. I wonder, though, because it's going to be traumatic over there in Iraq for everybody.
The chief says Ken wasn't there on active duty. His thoughts?
Family issues between he and his wife grew somehow during that year. From what I believe, I don't believe he was affected by his events in Iraq. He was affected by the events that his family situation was in when he got back.
Now, while it has been a whirlwind here at the courthouse all day long, funeral services for Lori DeKleine have also been going on almost at the same time, literally, as Ken DeKleine was being formally charged with the crime. We spoke with some friends, and they tell us that those services were so packed, cars were spilling out of the parking lot into the street. Reporting live in Holland, Emily Zangaro, 24-hour News 8.